What's going on, YouTube? So today we got the Team Corrali Kronos XP6S Monster Truggy. Team Corrali just brought out these new line of trucks. They want to be real competitive in the basher market. So, you can tell they're coming after Arrma with their designs, but there are a lot of good things that, there are in this model that are supposed to be better than what, the Arrmas do out the box. So that's why the Kraton's out. We're going to take a look at it. We're going to compare some things that might be different with this one that, the Kraton does, and just kind of go over everything in general. And we're going to see how they look side by side, and just an overall comparison for anybody that has a Kraton and might be curious about how this one stacks up as far as size-wise comparison and things like that. All right, well, I'm excited to get this thing out the box, so I'm going to go ahead and get it started and get it out, and we'll get everything set up and see what it looks like. All right, so here we have it. This is the Kronos XP 6S. So I will go over some things that I like and dislike between the two vehicles in a little bit. So right now I'm just going to kind of focus on the vehicle itself, by itself, and try not to jump to any comparisons. We'll see how I do. So just looking at a body. So the body is pretty, it's pretty basic. It's got a good feel to it. It feels solid. It feels very similar to the Arrma stuff, without the frills that the Arrma stuff gives you, like the body pin clip holders and things like that they come pre-attached. But it's a very solid body. You can definitely tell it's thick. Some Gorilla Tape make it even more durable, more flexible. I'm not thrilled about the look of it. I don't mind the front grille part, but it's just, it leaves a little bit to be desired. But again, the brute body and any other Arrma style body that will fit a Kraton or Outcast and all them should fit this without any problem. All right, before I get into the truck here, we're going to take a look at the remote, because when I first picked this thing up, I was definitely not completely thrilled about the way it felt in my hand. But now that I hold it a little bit more, the second time I actually put it down and come back a little bit later, and I picked it up again, and I went back and picked up the actual version 4 remote that they're bringing out now for the Kratons, and it's not that big of a difference anymore to me. But one thing I don't like about this is just like the switches and dials and things like that. It just feels like a low-end remote. But again, it's a ready-to-run remote. Some of the people were very disappointed with the version 4 remotes that just came out from the Arrma. I was one of them as well. I actually liked my old tactic, but again, that's not here nor there. They're stock remotes. So this actually, the rubber grip, it has a good feel to it. Steering wheel has a good feel to it. I'm not going to knock it until I get out and drive it, because it is a stock remote and I wasn't really expecting too much with it to begin with. Now the tires. Tires on these have some really good tread. They definitely do. I can see that these are going to balloon up on me. There's no doubt about that. They don't feel quite as thick rubber as some D-boots do. But again, here I am comparing. I don't want to get to comparison yet. I'm actually trying to talk about the vehicle by itself, but just so I can give people a perspective of what I'm feeling. D-boots feel like they have a little bit more rubber thickness to it. These definitely seem like they're going to balloon up on me. But I don't know too many people, other than the backflips and things like that are on like the Outcast, which would be it's more similar to the Dementor from this collection. But other than that, those people usually change the tires out anyway. Yeah, people are always looking for something belted to handle this power. So, whether it's here or there, tires are always replaceable. They're 17 millimeters. All the 3.8 tires that are on the market are going to fit it. So that's not going to hold this truck back as well, considering most of the market usually upgrades tires and things like that anyway. All right, so right out the gate, man, just from what I'm seeing on this truck that I like, I'm loving these arms, man. These arms are solid, like literally solid. Very nice arms. Seem very beefy, seem very durable. Got the pivot ball style hubs. Some nice, really nice racing shocks. It's plastic bore, aluminum caps. You know, again, they're very nice. I mean, these are racing shocks. They're from Team Corrali, so you know they're set up for racing. But these are beefier, bigger bore, meant for bashing. But again, with the racing style in mind. This front piece is very solid as well. Of course, we're going to want a T-bone from this, so I'm sure any blank that is made from the Arrma stuff until T-bone gets a hold of this truck and gets a chance to make some stuff for it, I'm pretty sure that any blank from Arrma will fit this. You just got to probably put your own holes in there. I'm sure they probably don't line up on the diffs. The shock tower is aluminum. It's a pretty good size aluminum, probably about a 5mm. So the servo is a 20 kg servo, metal geared, aluminum case, and it also has an aluminum horn on it from the gate, which is a nice plus for me. Something I always do anyways, try to put aluminum horn on my truck. It's got a little bit of an angle to the way the servo sits. If you can see that shaft in the front, that shaft is a little bit angled as well. I'm guessing just the way the center had to be placed, where it looks like there's more room over here for the battery and the ESC. I haven't seen that before, so that's a little unique to me. I'm sure it's fine. We will know if there's any problems with this, but I'm doubting there's going to be. But the shaft, you can see, comes at an angle here, and then goes into the center, which is a little bit to the left of center, and then comes back out. So that's why all that stuff's angled, but I'm sure there's going to be no performance drop from that. I don't see that being a problem. Doesn't look like anything there is going to bind. It's not enough of an angle to bind. So you got a 2050 4274 motor, which roughly is putting out about 5 miles per hour more stock than like what the Arrmas say they are with their 65. This one is putting out a 70. So of course it could be gearing, could be the few kV more that it is over what the BLX is. Again, that's something I have to play with to actually be able to tell you for sure. The ESC is, it looks like it's a Toro or Torox, I guess they call it, a 185, which is very similar design to the BLX 185, which is, I think, both Hobby Wing D brands. But basically, it's a very similar ESC to that. So there's not going to be much difference there. XT90s, which is what the old Arrma used to use. It's got the one loop plug in case you want to run one 6S or dual 3S, either or. It's got nice mud trays. It's very hard, feels like a very durable plastic there. Again, this is still aluminum chassis, but it's just got the guards on the side here. They come off probably in one piece each. Don't look like they're very high, so they're probably not going to block a lot of dirt and stuff from getting in there. I know some of the Arrma ones come up a little higher in certain areas, mainly in the front, but you still get stuff in there, trust me, all the time. So another thing I'm noticing is they have the sway bars on this, which is a nice plus stock. I mean, I'm really happy that they have them because, you know, I usually put sway bars on most of my trucks that have it as an option. I'll usually put that on there. So the fact that they have them in the front and rear is a nice touch. The wing on this is a Breakaway wing shims, which a lot of the companies will have something similar to this right now, but these are designed to give before the wing gives. And this is a very it's a very flexible wing. It's got a good feel to it. It's stiff. I say it's flexible, but it's stiff in a lot of areas. I'll have to get into some of that on the comparison on that. But like I say, it's flexible, and yet it's stiff. It's a weird It's weird to mention it. It's got like just a nice twist to it, whereas this feels hard and clanky. Again, I get that with the comparison on it, but we're not there yet. So the diffs on these, aside of being easy outs, they actually have a 13-tooth pinion that connects with the bevel gear. That's up from like a 9 or 10, which is the usual go-to for these monster trucks between the Team Red Cat and some of the Kraton series. So it's going to give you a little more durability on the diff pinion. It's going to be a little stronger. The gearing itself is going to change a little bit, so you're going to have actual overall difference. And that could be, somewhere down the road where they get their extra 5 miles an hour out with very similar units. All that, anytime you change gearing, you're changing, the overall ratio of the vehicle. So it's a bonus as far as durability goes, and as far as the actual vehicle performance goes, you should notice a difference, especially for bashing and durability on that diff. Out the box, guys, out the box, the suspension feels awesome. And from what I've read and what I've heard about this company, I expect nothing less, to be honest with you. And they definitely don't fail you right there. It's got a very good feel in the suspensions on this truck. Very pleased there. I'm about 95% sure that it is a steel spur on this truck as well, which is a bonus, of course, mod 1. All right, you got your waterproof box here with your receiver and your antenna. They give you a little antenna tube as well, if you want to stick that on there. Let's see here. Chassis bottom, man, them arms, man, I love these arms. Look at those things. And they do have, as far as upgrades, I know we have some upgrades that I was going to get into when I started doing the comparison with the Kraton, but they do have, which I believe they're carbon fiber option and as well as aluminum options of skids for the bottom of these that are going to bolt in to the arms, which I'm assuming what all these holes are for. That's where they're going to mount right to. So it's going to give you a chance to protect your arms as far as scuffs and dings, and then of course make it a little bit more durable. Once you start bolting in all over the place here, it's going to actually make that arm a little bit more stiff as a whole. Not to mention it's completely solid, and there's just, it's just a beefy arm. Even down here seems really fat around the arm pin or the hinge pin holders. So it just seems like one of my biggest complaints with my Kraton is going to be answered with this, but we'll see. Time will tell. Our hub style, not pivot ball style, which is fine for the rear. Not sure what those 3 screws right there go to, but there's nothing there. Might be some kind of, might be a chassis use for a different model. Maybe the Shogun or something. But yeah, I don't see anything I don't like about the suspension and steering. These links all feel beefy and look extra thick. It's an awesome layout, guys. I'm really liking what I'm seeing here. It's a very beefy wing mount. It does. It's got a very good feel, man. I like this. I like this whole setup right here. I guess, there's not much more to cover with this. So I'm really eager to get into the comparison of the two vehicles because I really want to talk about things that I do and don't like about this vehicle now and be able to justify it in a little bit more reasoning here. So we'll get into the likes and dislikes real quick, and I'll give a side-by-side comparison the best I can. This is a version 3. It is a little bit upgraded, not much. I think it's just a chassis on it and the servo mount and stuff like that. But we'll go ahead and get these two set up side by side. I'll be right back, and then we'll go ahead and get to the comparison. All right, here we go. Which one's which? Well, it's pretty clear now, but you know what I mean. So man, I tell you what. Now, I had to cram it a little bit. This is very tight, and I can tell that, you know, you would just have to open this up, guys. I'm telling you, you would only have to probably just take a little bit off right here. Probably drill that out just a little bit more oblong, oval, and this body would fit perfectly from Kraton to Kronos. So again, while watching, when I pull it up, you can see how it's flexing right now. It's because it's so tight. So it is not a perfect fit, but let's show you how close it is. There it is right there. So that's what you would need to draw out if you want it to be perfect. You could go about half and half since you got more room back here. If you made the rear oblong like these are, it would fit with no problem. So the guys that are out there that want to get a custom clear Kraton shell that maybe don't like the Kronos look, you know, I got guys that buy these trucks brand new. Me, myself, I bought this truck brand new, and this is my basher body. I matte finished it, took some decals off of it. It is my basher body. I went out and got myself a, couple different bodies. I got a Italian body that was custom chrome, and then I got the clear body that I did up with the Grim Reaper Hell Flames. So, again, everybody got their own taste. There's people out there that want to buy the truck and don't want to touch it stock, and then you got a bunch of us that will go out there and buy a brand new body out the gate. So that gets me to my dislike about this truck first, is the body. Not a fan of it in comparison. But again, with me, that's not going to be a problem because I always go out and get a custom body anyway. So that's not going to bother me. Tires, I'm not a fan of. They feel like they'll be all right for stock tires, but they're very soft, and they're going to balloon like crazy. So again, something that I am going to replace. Like, I got my strap mashers on this one, so you can see I can't even barely pinch these things without them going, whereas these just buckle right in. Again, this is an upgrade. This is the kind of stuff I'm going to run anyway, whether it be a belted trencher, a power hobby belted, something I strapped to myself like these. I'm going to run these over these anyway. So again, that's not a downfall to me. I don't like them, but it's not a downfall to me as far as buying this truck. Now, what I do like, everything else. Look at my suspension. This is my upgraded suspension. Again, as far as oils go. I mean, this, I have to really push it to bottom out. I still can't get it to bottom out yet. There, I bottomed out with my one finger. This I can get to go right down. This is upgraded oil. So, again, the suspension on this, my rear is all right, but it's kind of, I feel resistance on my rear. Like, I feel it like, almost like feedback, force back. This is just smooth down. So suspension, huge plus, in my opinion, just off the side-by-side comparisons without driving it. Very nice. Love the suspension. Sway bars. Of course, the Arrma's got the sway bars and things too. So there's really no comparison there as far as that. They both are pretty easy out diffs. This is a little more troublesome to me. It is still an easy out diff. But from what I saw in the video of this is very simple to get off. But again, we're probably talking a matter of maybe a minute difference between the two, if that. That's without me personally doing it. That's just looking at the diagrams and things, how they show you how this diff opens up. So I'm not going to say one or the other. They're both pretty much easy out diffs. I think there's just less to get to with this one as far as getting it off and getting it accessible in your hands. Both of them have the 5mm shaft, or 5mm. Actually, hold on here. Sorry, this might be 6. Yeah, these mounts stock are a hair thicker, they look like. The rears appear to be the same. I don't know why they would do that. They're a little bit thinner in the front. They appear to be the same in the rear. So, take that for what it is. There will be upgrades and things like this. I was told from Team Corrali they'll be having their whole line of upgrades. I know we got tons of upgrades from this between M2C, Just Bash, plenty of other makers out there that are making upgraded parts for this. Corrali's going to be doing their own stuff and having upgrades for this. So don't fear upgrades because there will be some for this. And we start seeing something like this in aluminum, and that's just killer. Because this design in general is just, I'm not there yet. We're getting there, but I really like that. The front brace comes up really high and comes down. It's just a really high brace, whereas this brace is more of a low linear brace. Connects to the front, really not much difference other than where it connects at. This one's way back there. This one's up here a little bit more, but taller and beefier. So you're going to have more of an angular support coming up. It's got more of a pitch control. You can see from the side, which is going to be harder to bend that tower, whereas this isn't even connected to the tower. So you're not actually getting any extra support right here behind this tower. You're getting it all right there on the front chassis guard, or the front top plate. So, again, I'm going to give the benefit to this one here. Now, this servo is a tall, upgraded servo. The Arrmas, you have to get the HR. If you want to put a bigger servo in this thing, first of all, you almost have to, because the servos that come in these really aren't that good. Anybody that has the vehicles know that the servos are usually one of the first things that people upgrade. This one here, we're going to hang out and see for a while because it's a 20K aluminum case. Hopefully, we got hopes that this one's a lot better. It's already spec-wise a little bit better, and it is a taller one. So if you do go to replace this, you're not having to buy an extra mount right out the gate like I did right out the gate buying this truck. I had to buy an extra mount for it just because of that. So again, it's a bonus by having that already there for you. So the motors, we're going to call them pretty much a wash right now because they're both 2050s. I have my Sen motor in here, 1450. So this is definitely a little bit different, obviously, than what's going to be running. But normally the BLX motor is the same size as this. Pretty much the same ESC, which you can see I'm running my stock one still in. This is a 185 BLX, also 150 amp. This one definitely has the upgraded power button, like it's the the Max 8. I think it's just more of like a Max 8 knockoff or rebrand. Again, the button seems to be the only big difference between the two. They all have the 3 capacitors, and Corrali just makes very good electronics as far as racing equipment and shocks. Everything racing wise, electronics and things like that come with Team Corrali. If you look them up, they've got a very good history with that. So I'm expecting to have some good quality out of the performance of this. But like me with everything, I usually upgrade this stuff anyway. So this isn't going to hold me back if this motor isn't like blowing me away, even though it seems to like it's going to be faster out the box than what this is, just based on what the boxes say, if they're accurate. Here we go. This is my favorite part here. This rear brace setup right here that goes to the tower and supports the tower itself and comes down, in addition to the lower brace here that catches by the diff. I mean, this thing's got a massive brace right here, and then these two. This whole rear end is so solid. I'm probably never going to have the issue that I had here, where I broke my rear diff casing. This piece here, it's solid. It feels solid, but you can see right here, I mean, I can push down on that. Now, a lot of people get this in aluminum and upgrade that, but even then, look at it. It goes through the bracing and goes to the wing mount. So you're not getting any actual support on your rear tower, kind of holding the chassis and the tower away from each other. This one does. So again, to me, design-wise, this is a bonus to me. The arms, huge bonus. No matter what you say, I'm sorry guys, I've documented it. It's well documented. You can check any of my videos. Every single arm on this truck. This is the only arm that has not broke on me. This is a stock arm. This is RPM. This is RPM. This is RPM. I think the tops are still stock. I haven't had to replace the tops yet. But 3 of my 4 lower arms broke, and 1 of them broke twice. So I broke my my RPM arm as well. But I mean, just look at it. I mean, the openness of them, even the RPM arm compared to the stock arms, which we'll flip it over and take a look. It's just so much beefier, and not to mention you can get that upgrade for the plates and things on the bottom of this. It's going to make it a little bit more durable. That's a huge bonus. Turnbuckles seem to be about the same thickness. The heads, the ends, all that seems to be about the same. Shouldn't be any difference there for you. Again, how I was showing you how the wing mount goes straight from that one brace. Even this brace stops at the diff, which is going to give support there, and then it picks up again here for the wing, which again is a big bonus when you're looking at me just twisting this wing. It's all of this. This is all one piece. So when these wings go in the rear, this is all one piece that you're replacing. And again, you know, how many Arrmas have you seen on different forums and things that have bent shock towers and things where they're just bowed in, and they don't have any kind of bracing like this that gives support. So I'm very curious to see how this holds up in the same kind of bashing environment as what would bend a tower over here with this extra support, because I'm just really digging, you know, how beefy it is. Let's see. So the new version 4, which would be what this is comparing to, obviously, because as far as, you know, what you're available to get right now, you really can't get too many version 3s anymore. But the biggest difference with that is the bracing from the front to rear. So that does give you, again, it's fair to mention because I'm talking about this extra bracing, how the support is. So you're running a rod from one tower to the next. Gives you a little bit more bracing support for sure, but this seems like it's achieving it just by using the design that's already there without needing that center brace. You know, that's something we'll have to see once people get their hands on it, once people start bashing these things pretty hard, and we'll find out if this chassis is bending because of that, you know, which it could, but I just don't see this chassis bending with all this added support that it has on here, but it could. So speculation is that it won't, not as easily at least. Now again, this isn't a fair comparison because this is the M2C chassis, but we're just looking at overall bottom here. I want to take a good look at this arm from the bottom. Again, we have the stock rear hubs, not pivot ball style in the rear, just like the Kronos. But that arm, compared to that arm, it looks so much beefier. And I can't really get in there to look at this part where the hinge pin goes. But you can clearly see it here. And it's very thick and beefy. It's just, I don't think this is going to give a problem like I've had. I think I could go out with the jumps that broke these arms, and I don't think I would break them on this. So that's a huge plus to me just by looking at those. And I'm really excited to see what kind of the overlays. I love to have the covers and things for my arms, keeps them looking fresh, and especially if it makes them a little bit durable. I like having that option, and you know, there is no option for this. So again, that would be a plus to me for the Team Corrali. So let's see here. You can see the vehicle wheelbase is almost identical. They're almost identical all the way around as far as size goes. Front to rear. Very similar length. Very similar width. So the shocks on the Kraton are aluminum all the way. It's aluminum bodies. I'm pretty sure these are plastic bodies. They feel like a plastic body. Again, the suspension though on them, there's nothing wrong with the way they're set up. There's nothing wrong with the suspension just because those are plastic bodied and these are aluminum. Most guys that care about shocks are upgrading the shocks anyway, but just the feel. I mean, this is already down on the ground. If I really throw it down, I can get it, but I don't have to throw this down. So again, love my Kraton. I'm not gonna bash it and put it down. We are only comparing them because they are a similar vehicle, and they're basically this is coming after this truck as far as market wise. I think, my personal opinion, from me standing in front of these trucks, me owning a Kraton, me just playing around with them, having the time to put that under my belt, and from what I see right now of this new truck sitting in front of me, I like this right here. Take the tires off of it, roller, wheel to wheel, inside to inside, all this, in my opinion, is going to be a better overall out-the-box experience and product than what Arrma has right now in this version 3 or version 4. Just based on the things that I've covered in here that I feel are a little bit better out the box. Again, even speaking upgrades with the arms, because I think that these arms are going to be better than these arms are. The Breakaway wing mount is a huge bonus. Nice big shims that are going to just give. If the wing gets damaged, they're going to give before the wing mount does. The wing mount's attached back here. It's a big solid cross brace piece, very solid, very big, opposed to this two flimsy long pieces of plastic. This thing always breaks. I've already broke this mount once, and this is my second mount on this truck, but it's just got so much twist and play. You can see it right there, and this one doesn't. And again, I feel it. I feel like I could snap this off right here, right at this point. But that mount is beefy. So, between the two vehicles, I really do think that your insides here, taking away from a less attractive body and less desirable rubber on the tires, I think you have a great truck here. And I really do recommend anybody that's looking to get something in the $500 range, maybe don't want to spend the full $550 to get yourself the new Kraton. You want to spend a little less and maybe have a little bit more out of it. This is something you should definitely check out, because it is, I think, about $20 or $30 retail less than what the Kraton sells for. But again, with all the extras that you get, the beefiness of it you get, the diff pinion that you get difference, the arm upgrades that you get difference, the servo mount, being able to take a deeper servo, slide style motor mount, which the new version 4 has as well, but there's still a nice touch on this. And the sealed bearings are big bonus on this as well, and I forgot to mention them. This has full seal bearings. This one does not. There's upgrades, obviously you can do that, but when you're talking about something out the box, sealed bearings are a nice touch for this. It's going to protect your bearings a lot longer. Your bearings are going to last a lot longer. They're not going to get as much dirt in them, especially when you start running and bashing these things. So again, out the box, chassis, overall chassis design, what you get out of the truck, I'm really liking what I'm seeing here. I really can't wait to get this thing out and drive it and see if it's as good as performance as I am seeing right here in person, because I am very impressed with this truck from what I'm seeing right here. Again, I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. There's things I don't like, I mentioned those, but everything I'm telling you about this that I like is something that I'm 100% liking and seeing with my own eyes, and you can definitely tell that there's a difference. So all you Arrma guys out there that just looking for something different, maybe you have all of them, maybe you're looking for something different to get. You got the Infraction, you got the Kraton, you got the Italian, you got the Outcast, and Arrma's sitting without anything new coming out. maybe you pull the trigger on something like this and get yourself a true side-by-side comparison, because that's the only way you're going to tell, is to actually be able to have one of them or have this. But anybody that doesn't pull the trigger on an Arrma, is getting ready to spend that first $500 some purchase on an RC vehicle, there's absolutely nothing wrong with pulling the trigger on something like this. And like I said, I can live with the body if I'm rocking this as a bash body and then doing something nice or custom for myself. And remember, you know, all the Arrma bodies and things like that look like they'll fit. So you got your brute body from Proline and all those that will fit, all your Proline tires, all your JC Concept tires, all your Duratrax, Power Hobby, SRCs are all going to fit exactly the same. And you get yourself a really nice vehicle, man. I can't express the quality that this truck looks like it has on camera. You know, I just can't express it enough. I mean, because this is just a very nice looking truck. So, but that's where I'm gonna leave it at, guys. All the links and things will be in the video description for the website and things like that. I'll probably put a couple links up right to the Corrali page, so you can go in there and check those out as well. If you have any questions, the website will also have the phone number and things like that. The social media links will be in the description as well, if you guys want to reach out to me that way. I do have a couple social media groups that one's got about 10,000 some people, the other's got almost 2,000 now. So feel free to hop in there if you guys are on social media and check us out, because we always do fun things in there. I got some giveaways and things going on right now for Team Corrali promotion. So if you guys get in Facebook or whatever, check it out. You might get any time to catch that. So, all right, guys, I look forward to getting this out there, and I appreciate everybody for watching.